Hello, 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 everyone. And just like that, it's 6 o'clock on Monday night. It's May 11th. It's crazy how fast today went for me. Wow. I think I had about 6 meetings throughout the day today, and my last one finished at about 10 to 5. And I thought, wow, how would I be able to get back into the swing of things with having these live classes with in-person classes? And I'm like, yep, that'll be coming soon though. So, wow. So it's a little bit of a whirlwind for me today. I had a meeting starting at 8 o'clock and my last one at 3 o'clock and about 4 in between. So it was a busy, busy day for me. How was your day, everybody, so far? Hi, Kelly. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for joining and being good on-time students tonight. I love it. So I'm going to try to pull up the Facebook feed. It's amazing how I have the comments showing up on my tablet, and I have them also showing up on my phone, and they come in at different times. So hi, Wendy. Hi, Diane. So, well, girls, in addition to having a very hectic day full of work meetings, I should say I got to listen to hammers and trucks and conveyor belts and men talking and craziness going on outside. And I say got to because it's all because of my fabulous little project I'm working on. And so guess what happened today? Yeah, the 6-inch thick frost walls got poured today. Hi, Julie. Hi, Peggy. Peggy, you're a rock star. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm sure Diane's going to be doing it in a second too. I really appreciate when you girls like, comment, and share on the videos that I do. It helps to bring visibility to more people of the fun things that I share with everybody. So the creative and fun things. So yes, 6-inch frost walls got poured today. And so I woke up at 6:45 to a hammer pounding outside. And like I'm on the other side of the house and I could hear that. So they were here at the butt crack of dawn and they had to remove all the forms. Hi, Pat. Hi, Mary. Hi, Linda. Hi, Chris. Oh my gosh, lots of girls already. So that's exciting. So what they have to do first is they put the forms down, and the forms are these wood plank type things, and then they pour the footing, and then the wall gets attached to the footing so it doesn't shift. And so this morning, what they did first is, hi Rhonda, hi Nancy, they took the forms off of the footings, and then they put all these new like metal steel walls up, and it's like, it was really crazy. They're all like 4 inches or 4 feet wide by like 6 feet tall. And they had that all outlining the whole perimeter of what's being built. And then they came with a conveyor belt. Like, I don't know, hi Sue. Like, you couldn't even get past my street here. I was afraid the cops were gonna show up because the whole road seemed like it was blocked. So they had this big conveyor belt that was just unloading like on this belt, and it was coming down this tube, and 2 guys holding it, 2 guys on the back end smoothing it, 2 guys on the front end. I had like a yard full of men working. So hi, yes, Linda's in San Diego. Thanks for joining us. I hope you had some beautiful weather out in San Diego today. So yes, that was the excitement and activity going on at my house today outside. And like, oh, it's just hearing all the noise is crazy. So anyways, that's a big step done. I looked out my window from the upstairs and I'm like, yep, this is happening. There's no turning back now. No changing my mind. This is basically it. So, but yes, that's exciting. Hi, Judy. Yay, Judy's watching. You're on your lunch or your dinner break, I bet. Hi, Heather. So that's a lot of work that was done today. And then next step is once it's dried enough, then what happens is they put 2 inches of insulation on each side of the wall because I'm putting a heated floor in there. So it needs to be insulated very good. And then they'll backfill it. And then yay, so progress, progress, progress. So tonight is an exciting night tonight. It's the second Monday of the month. And what usually happens under normal circumstances is it's my club night. And so I have a club. They make the same cards as the monthly class, but this club is special in the fact that each month, one person takes a turn being the hostess with the mostest and earning the host credit for all the people that are part of the club. So on 8 people that are part of this club, it usually ends up being around $300 to $450, and the host usually gets between like $36 and like $63, even sometimes up to $80 worth of host credit. Oh, Judy's on her lunch. Yay. So the host gets the host credit. So when I do my monthly class, I'm the hostess. And so then I use the host credit that I get to help supply for the materials that we use in class. But so Dar is the hostess with the mostest tonight for the club class. And I put this monthly online class on the same night as club class so that the gals that are part of the normal club still get to meet tonight virtually with us. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to put together the 3 cards for the May monthly class. And when I design these cards, I design them with the thought that I knew that it was going to be an online virtual class. And so I kept the stamping limited so that it wouldn't be so hard for people when they get their kits that they had to do their stamping. So when you see the designs, they're very versatile designs, and you can think of other different types of color patterns and designer series paper that you have stocked up at home to make these beautiful, easy layouts. So, hi Annette, so you're watching, so it's awesome. So I actually had 34 people. So I had 8 club members, and what's the math on that? I had 26 plus 8 is 34, yep, right? So math is hard tonight, it's been a long day. Hi Sarah, hi Elaine, hi Lori. So I actually had 34 people signed up between the club class, like the normal clubbers, and then monthly people. So that's super exciting because back in March, I had 36 people with it, a combination of online and in person. So this is awesome. I am very appreciative to everybody who signed up for this class. You help keep me going. I love cutting paper. It's crazy. I don't know what it is about touching paper and feeling paper, but I don't know. I think that's why it can be 3 in the morning and I can be cutting paper and not be tired or like, wow, I am so sick of this. I don't think that at all. So you give me a reason to cut paper, girls. So yes, 34 people. I'm so excited. And I was watching through the list of people here that are on here are a lot of you that are taking this class. So I believe that most of the people have their kits. I know that there's maybe 5 sets of kits here tonight for people that are doing this class, and they're gonna watch the replay if they want to put them together, or they could be watching tonight and just remember it. So one of the perks, oh, Dar's watching, she's our hostess with the mostest. So one of the perks about doing an online class with me, well, not even online, but doing the monthly class or the bundle class with me is you get a PDF tutorial as part of your payment with, or like part of your like perk of attending the class. So this morning early, I messaged out everybody the PDF tutorial so they could be on standby with any extra materials they need. So, but the perk of an online class like this is everybody else who didn't get the card kits, you get to watch a free class and you get to be inspired to be creative and crafty and hopefully come up with ideas in your head of stuff that you can use at home to make cards that are very similar. So that's what I like to do. I like to share and inspire and help you be creative. So without further ado, I'll have to see once if I need to announce anything. So I think that I'm supposed to announce some winners, and I think that I had picked out 2 of them. So help me remember, oh gosh, help me remember. I got 2 cards over there that I was gonna announce some winners on. So yay. Okay, so girls, what I'm gonna do is Dawn Oleg is watching. Yay, hi Dawn. So you were just messaging me about sentiments. And so I was gonna talk about the sentiments about that tonight, that I know everybody has to stamp their own sentiments for their cards and because it's a stamp. And so I was gonna give you girls some ideas on other stamp sets that you could use to stamp sentiments because everybody has, for these kits, their pieces are either die cut or punched or embossed. So basically all you'd have to do is stamp and assemble. So, hi Patty. All right, girls, let me flip the camera down. Also, I want to remind you that this is basically, it's a free class for those that didn't get kits. And if there's ever anything that you need, I have my host code here. It helps me stay going. I appreciate any and every order, big or small. It helps me keep doing these free online classes for you. So, all right, the cards that we're going to be making tonight are these 3 right here. So this one features, and I'll go into the catalog and show product, but a simple layout going horizontal. And this one features the layout going vertical. 2 different but similar cards where all you have to do is stamp your sentiments. And then I have an awesome best catch card here. So I figured I'm going to start with the easiest one first. So it's really funny. When we're in class, I always ask people, well, do you want to start with a hard one or do you want to start with an easy one? I'm going to try to, I was trying to find a happy medium here for the screen. So this set is basically featured in the mini catalog here. So when you open up your mini catalog, you want to go to the beginning of it where the Parisian, I'm not sure, I can't remember what the suite is called, but it's Parisian Blossom Suite. And this is the soft romantic suite to me. The suite is retiring, but basically what I've used out of this suite is only a couple things. I've used the Parisian Blossoms Specialty Designer paper, which is actually retiring and is on a discount right now for like $11 and change. So it'd be a good time now to pick up some of this pretty paper. And the other thing that I pulled in for this card, and it's right here, are these Champagne Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I am super, super excited to say that those are carrying over. Yay! Okay, so then the other thing that's featured on here is this die cut with this stamp. And that is part of, oh wait, I even have it marked, look at me. I was proactive today. So when you open up your catalog to page 20, there's a set called So Sentimental with some matching dies called Stitch So Sweetly Dies. So Dar, I know that you were waiting, these are on back order. They are back in stock. I did check last and this bundle is on low inventory right now. So if this is something you're looking to get, you might want to consider getting it now because it's a bundle and you get 10%. It will carry over into the new annual catalog as well. But Dar, these are going to be shipping relatively soon. As soon as they were off of back order, I got a notice that they were shipping. So I know that theirs are coming for you yet. So this is the bundle that I used here. And then there is an embossing folder back here, and it is called Tufted. It looks like a quilt pillow top, and I am so sorry to say that I believe that is retired and it's already sold out. I believe it's not in stock. And so when I designed these cards, I didn't know if it was going to be retired or not, or if it was carrying over or not. And it's sad to say that it isn't carrying over, but you could easily interchange this Tufted embossing folder with any other embossing folder. So, don't fret about that if you don't have the Tufted. Everybody who got the card kits, though, yours are already embossed with that. This petal pink ribbon is part of the Perennial Essence suite, and so that is actually carrying over. So that's a little bit about the product for this card. So let's go ahead and make this card. So here is what I've got. That's the So Sentimental stamp set, and then these are the Stitch So Sweetly dies. Now, Dawn Oleg just messaged me maybe a half hour ago, and she said, hey, Chris, I don't have this So Sentimental stamp. What would I use in place? Honestly, girls, you have more stamps than you probably realize you do. But at first thought, I pulled out this set, and I don't know if you have this or not. I don't know all the inventory that you girls have. I try to remember everything, but I don't remember everything. But there's a sentiment in here that says, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. And the die for this is about this big. And that could work for this one. You think maybe it's a little bit small, but you know what you could do is you could add some more embellishments onto the side of it. These are the moments that we look on back with joy, and what you could put are 2 big rhinestones. So like if you're, I know that I gave you these 3 from the Champagne, but if you wanted to, you could put some big diamonds right on the side. So just because the sentiment is a little bit smaller than the actual die, don't be afraid to use something like that and then put bling on it. Decorate it up or sponge the sides of the die cut once it's out. Another one that I thought I was going to see once, Dawn, I was thinking you might have special celebrations, but I was looking on here, like that says for the special couple, but then you have all this room up on the bottom and the top. Well, that's where you could put a decoration up here and a decoration down there. I'm trying to see here, this one too. Like what I would suggest you do, like that one would fit there too. Like there's different stamp sets. So I know that it's like when you get a kit and you have to figure out what to stamp on it. What I would suggest doing is go look back through your arsenal. You have more stamps than what you think. And if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, don't forget that you have stamps in your Paper Pumpkin that would possibly work too. So just look to see what you have. That's what I suggest doing. And if for some reason, Dawn, you don't have something that you think will work, come on over by me and you can stamp it and then put it together. You're more than welcome to do that. So here's the stamp set and the framelit. So that's what I use for this card. Here's the tufted embossing folder. And again, this I believe is retired now. So I'm so sad. I really love that one. It's one of my favorites. So we have a piece of Whisper White. It's thick cardstock. It's 8.5 by 5.5. And I do have it scored in the middle here for you. So what you have to do is just fold it over this way. Oh, you can see what I did here? I grabbed a piece of scrap paper from my paper source, my paper drawer, and I have a little flower stamped in there. How funny. Okay. Hi, Karen. Okay, so in the stamp set, so you guys, the Parisian stamp set that is Forever Blossoms, that's the flower that really matches this flower really well. But you know how I like to recommend stamping the inside? Hi, Mary. You could honestly stamp any little flower you want down in the corner. So, and I would use the Memento ink, and you could color it in, like with a petal pink marker, or if you have like a mossy meadow marker, anything would work. So what I would do is stamp a little sentiment here, okay? Then we have a piece of Designer Series paper. The Designer Series, let's see if I have my instructions in here. Oh, I do, yay. The Designer Series paper, we also call that DSP. Somebody just recently asked me what DSP stands for, and it means Designer Series paper. We do have a lot of like acronyms. So this measures 5 1/16 by 1 3/4. And then I have a piece of the Pool Party, which also measures 5 1/16, but then it's 3 13/16. And what we're gonna do is glue that to the top of that. And then the piece of Petal Pink measures 4 by 5 1/4. So this is just your standard mat. So what we're gonna do is grab a couple of our adhesives and start putting them together. So I love to use the liquid glue, and I know some people love the snail. Just so you know, the snail is retiring. The Stampin' Up! Version is retiring, and they are coming out. Hey, Shar! Thanks in advance for sharing. I know you're going to comment in a second that you shared it. So appreciate that. So just know that Stampin' Up's snail is retiring, and they're bringing out something else that's going to be, I'm sure, bigger and better. So as I'm gluing this, I'm just trying to make sure that my seams or my edges line up. Now, when I cut Designer Series paper, you may find that it's a hair longer than the bottom piece. And I do that so it's not a hair shorter. If it's a hair shorter, then you'll see the bottom piece, and I don't like that. So I always try to make that top just a hair bigger, and if you need to trim it, then you can. Then what I have here is, you can see my Petal Pink ribbon is actually wrapped around this Pool Party layer. So I am going to grab my tear and tape. Oh, it's right here. Haha, I was looking for it. And it's, you know, girls, when you're looking for something, just look right in front of your face. It's always right there. Hi, Callie. How are you doing, girlfriend? Okay, so what I like to do is I like to create a ribbon sandwich. So I put my tear and tape on the back here. Girls, I would never recommend using liquid glue with ribbon at all. So it'll just be a wet mess of glue. So what I'm doing when I put this down here is I'm trying to match up the bottom edge of the Petal Pink ribbon over the DSP. If you do it down too low, you're gonna see the DSP. So I'm doing it right at the where it overlaps it slightly. And I hold it and look at it from the front so I know it's straight. And then what I'll do is I'll flip it over and I'll secure it with a little bit more tear and tape on the back. Hi, Anne. How are you doing, girlfriend and cousin? Yeah, so Shar uses glue most of the time. I do too, unless it has to do with ribbon. I do use glue dots a lot with ribbon as well. I know that Cheryl uses glue dots a lot as well, putting the ribbon down. Sometimes it's hard to pick that paper off of the double-sided tape here, or the tear and tape. Hi, Jean. So then I'll follow up with a little bit more liquid glue, and I'm not going to put glue where the tear and tape is because that's already got enough adhesive. Then this is going to get layered down on top of the piece of Petal Pink, just like so. Liquid glue also gives you the ability to just move it around a little bit if it needs to get moved around. So far, so good. Now what I'm going to do is flip it over again, and then I'd apply a little bit more liquid glue to the back of this. So liquid glue is a really strong, this liquid glue is a really strong craft glue. Once it's down, you're probably never gonna get that off of there unless you rip it off of there. But until you have it set, you can wiggle it around exactly where you want it. So you can see I'm just slightly moving it where I want it. All right, so now we've got our nice card base going. So this was really simple, honestly, girls. Take a piece of Designer Series paper, emboss this top half, and put a couple layers, and it makes for a really pretty card. So this was just a piece of Whisper White, and what I've done is taken the sweet sentiment here, wishing you much happiness today and always. What I did is I stamped that on the piece of Whisper White, and through the magic of TV, I've already die cut this out, and it puts that awesome little bit of stitching all the way around there. So for you girls that got the kits, just go ahead and stamp a sentiment on there. And then what I'm gonna do is, hi Linda, how are you doing? A long time no see. So I'm gonna put a few dimensionals on the back of this label. And I believe if you press these a little bit hard, I think it was Dara that said if you press them hard and like in the middle, it helps them to poke off easier. All you gotta do is wiggle that just a little bit and then they come off. And what you're gonna do is just place that. Now when I positioned this, I tried to center the edge of this side and the edges of the right side right in the middle of my petal pink ribbon, and then I tried to center it just left to right. Now the trick with putting something down with dimensionals is, like, did you see I didn't press it down? So right now if I wanted to, I could pick that off and reposition it. So I would say don't squish things down until you have them exactly where you want them. And I'm like, okay, that looks good. So let's now squish that down, and now that's pretty secure. But had you thought it was crooked or just wanted to reposition it, then you could go ahead and pick it off. All right, now onto the fun part, girls. Bling. Who loves their bling? Give me some shout outs for those gals that love to bling it up. So here's my little trick that my bestie Gina showed me. She takes her scissors and she grabs them with her scissors. And what I'm doing is trying to figure out where I want to put them. So this pattern on the back here has the diamond pattern. So I was going to put 2 of them on somewhere, and I'm just trying to figure out where exactly I want to put them. So I'm actually going to put one there. Now when you girls, be careful, you have 3 of these little rhinestones sitting in your card kit, so don't lose them. And we're just going to put one there. You girls really love bling, yeah. So in this case, I put the one here because these 2 are over here. But for some reason, I like to put them over there, and then I'm going to put that one there. So it's your card, girls. You can go ahead and put your bling wherever you want it, because that's like the best part of the card is like blinging it up. I absolutely love blinging up cards. So, all right. So that's pretty much it for this card. Now, this card, wishing you much love and happiness. Oh, wait, wishing you much happiness today and always. Honestly, that could be a wedding card. That could be a birthday card, actually. So what you would want to do is you would want to grab, like, if you did have special celebrations, you could use happy birthday in there. But girls, if you have peaceful moments, I would say that this font is so pretty and elegant with this that wishing you much happiness today and always. You know what? I'm going to make mine into a birthday card. So I like it. So I'm going to grab, just so we can do a little bit stamping together. So don't laugh at me, but I don't think I have a smaller block. Oh, wait, I do. Need a look. Okay, look at this. Here it is. So you always want to try to use a corresponding block with the stamp that you have. Hey, Mary. So Barb has your kits, I believe. So I think that you'll be able to get them the next time you touch base with her. So, but it was a little bit later today when she got them. So, but hopefully you can watch and see how they're all made. Yes, Lori, you use the peaceful moments too. Perfect. So I'm going to put the happy birthday in the center here. I did use the Memento ink with that. And so there I made it into a happy birthday card. Yay, pretty, pretty. So, all right. So girls, I think that we already have one card done. Isn't that crazy? So It's not always hard, you know, you don't always have to make hard, difficult cards to make them pretty. Sometimes when it's just a simple, very elegant card, that makes you feel really good as well. So, yay. Okay, well, one done. Give me a round of applause if you like that one. So, boom. All right. So one, we'll move that one out of the way, and I cleaned up my stamp. I'm so happy with myself. So we're working our way to the next card, and the next card features the Magnolia stamp set. So this one is the Magnolia Blooms, and so let me pull the catalog really quick so you can see where that comes from. All right, I know I have this marked so that it was easy to find. So Magnolia Lane can be found on page 36 and 37 and 38. And I didn't really use a lot from this suite except for the ribbon combo pack. And so the ribbon is this really like pretty green. It's Mossy Meadow. It's just a thin baker's twine like linen thread. And then it has this matching like Sahara sand crumb cake with a white edge on it. Very soft cotton ribbon. And so that is part of the Magnolia Lane. And Diane loves magnolias. You girls really love the magnolias. If I think out of all this whole catalog, the #1 set of products that I sold to my customer base was the Magnolia Lane. It just was just so, pretty, like lovely. So the Designer Series paper here is what I used on this piece right here. And I pulled out this piece way in the corner here. So this paper is retiring. I am happy to say though that the stamp set and the dies are carrying over, the embossing folder is carrying over, and the So Saffron blends are carrying over. But if you're wanting to score yourself some of this Designer Series paper, now is the chance to do it because it will be gone. If you really, really, really loved this paper, there was a mega pack of it that was available for like $17, but you got like, I think it was 4 sheets or 4 designs, but lots of them. So the other thing I'm excited to say is this also used the So Sentimental stamp set and dies. I pulled in here, I can't thank you enough, but Sending Healing Hugs also fits in here. And then I used this die cut for this one. So I used 2 cards featuring the same, but made them look different. So, okay, Shar said that was the first set that she got. And Diane got some more. Yeah, me too. I got 2 more packs of that Magnolia paper. It just makes me happy looking at it. So, all right, girls. So what we've got here for this card is an espresso card base. So the espresso measures 8.5 by 5.5. All of your card bases are scored because I always score them for you. I've been doing that for now, I think it's 2.5 years since Naughty Nancy requested the scoring of card bases. I think I've only missed twice. So I don't score for myself because I'm okay with it, but I will spoil you girls as long as I can. So grab your bone folder. You want to burnish your edge. I know your cards were folded in your kits, but I did not burnish any of them. You have a piece of Whisper White. It is 4 by 5.25. And what I did is I stamped a little flower in the bottom here. This set is a complimentary set to the Magnolia Gardens suite of products. And I don't even know if some of you gals may know this or not, but if you loved Magnolia and you got what was in the catalog, I hope that you know that there was a complimentary set to it that was never in the catalog. It was a standalone stamp set that was part of our beginner's brochure, and it had the extra sentiments. So like congratulations, happy birthday, and thank you. Plus it had a few extra flowers and leaves. So between these 2 stamp sets, let me pull this back out. Between the 2 stamp sets, you got an array of sentiments. In this catalog was thanks, thinking of you, hello, enjoy today. And then with the complimentary stamp set, it had the congratulations, birthday, and thank you. So between these 2 sets, if you were looking for a stamp set or 2 that basically hit every occasion except for sympathy, then you were pretty much covered with this. So very, very good set to add on. And this flower was really pretty. So what I did is I stamped this little bit of flower in the bottom corner. And what you're gonna wanna do after you stamp yours in, the matching colors for you are Petal Pink and Mossy Meadow. So just to keep it simple, I'm gonna use my blends, but I'm not going to do any shading. In this case, I'm just gonna use the Petal Pink marker to color it in simply. It's such a small area that it's hard for me to do much shading, but those people who love to shade, if you do have the dark and the light of the Mossy Meadow and the Petal Pink, you are more than welcome to go crazy coloring and shading this. But when you do your alcohol markers, you definitely want to give it time to soak into your paper. Alcohol markers aren't like your normal markers. You want to let the marker take time to soak into the paper. They're really meant for blending. And so another time we'll do some good blending techniques, but all I did in this case was color in the leaves and the petals with the matching colors to the Designer Series paper. So if you don't have this exact flower, or if you don't have these exact colors, just use something similar. You can stamp a different flower in the bottom, and you can color them with different greens or light pinks. So you don't always have to have exactly what I have. So hi, Bonnie Brown. All right, so that is gonna be our inside piece. So all you have to do is flip that over, put a little bit of glue on the back side of that, and then adhere that to the inside of your card, just like so. Now the outside, we have here a piece of Petal Pink. Let's see if I have them. Yay, I have it. I always love it when they're in there. So the Petal Pink measures 5 inches by 3 3/4. And our piece of Designer Series paper, so it's 3 inches top to bottom, and then I have it at 3 9/16. And that's gonna fit right on the top half. And then the bottom piece of Mossy Meadow is 3 9/16 by 2 1/8. And then what I've done is I've embossed that with the layered leaves. Again, girls, this one is retiring. I can't remember if it's already sold out or not, but I loved this leaf pattern mixed with the magnolia. In the new annual catalog, there is another leaf embossing folder, so there's gonna be something similar, but if it's still for sale, I would highly recommend that one for your arsenal to get that in there. Then I've got a couple more pieces here. I might as well tell you. This, actually I did this one double here. So this is the same die that was used on the previous card here. And it's just cut out with some vellum cardstock. And then there's just a piece of Whisper White. And everybody's got theirs die cut with the die from the sentiment. And you can go ahead and stamp any sentiment you want. This card could be for anything. It could be birthday. It could be sending healing hugs. It could be a thank you. It could be a hello, how are you doing card. Anything. So what you're gonna, I've already stamped mine with the sending healing hugs, and that was actually part of the So Sentimental set here. Where is it? Sending healing hugs right there. So what you'll want to do is grab your espresso ink and stamp your sentiment in the middle. So sometimes with flower paper, you have to be careful that there's a top and a bottom. And in this case, I can't see a top or a bottom. So you don't have to worry about that when you put it down. So just depends on what part of the piece of paper you got. You may have some flowers that look better going the other way. But that's always a little trick, girls. Before you glue your paper down, make sure your pattern is going the right way. So I'm just putting a little bit of liquid glue on the back of my Mossy Meadow. And don't worry about the seam here because we are going to cover that up with some of the ribbon. And grab your tear-in tape or your double-sided tape and you can prep that. I love this stuff because it just rips off. You don't have to use the scissors. I know some of you girls, there used to be something out there called sticky tape. It was like a red roll of sticky tape. And it was really hard to, you always had to cut it. So look at this, girls. I'm at the end of my roll of ribbon and I am so excited. I don't know who knows me about this, but I love throwing things away that when they're done, like the shampoo bottle and like your toothpaste and the soap dispenser, like when you have to fill up the soap dispenser and your soap is done, like who else loves to throw out empty containers? I'm not alone, am I? It's always like a sense of satisfaction when you get to throw away an empty container. And potentially pull the next one right away. So, all right, so what we're gonna do is I've just used a little bit of tear and tape there, and I'm actually just gonna cut that off and throw that away. Look at that. That's all I wasted on that roll of ribbon. I'm so very proud of myself. So, all right, and then what we're gonna do is the same thing here. And actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna prep so you girls all have your ribbon cut for you already. So I'm just gonna cut my piece of green Mossy Meadow twine here and grab another little bit of the tear and tape. And we're gonna do a little trickery here. Instead of doing another layer of tape and then another one, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hold this and tape this at the same time. So my little green ribbon kind of got sandwiched in between. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side and sandwich this. So I've made myself a ribbon combo sandwich here. So sandwiched between the tear and tape. Pull that off. So this is a great use of both of the ribbons at the same time, but these ribbons also would be very pretty, used independently. So I think Gina, how many of you girls caught Gina's scrapbook layout presentation? She was my featured teacher on Saturday, and she did a very, very pretty layout with a scrapbook, and I believe she used this green twine in her layout. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly, but it makes cute little bows. If you're putting on flowers on stems, it'll make a cute little bow. So far, so good, girls. There it is. So far, so good. Oh, I forgot something, but we're okay. So I know sometimes people have a tendency to put their adhesive underneath the ribbon here. Well, that would be bad because we forgot to put this here. So this piece of vellum, it's hard to see it, but it is tucked underneath this ribbon right here. So if you're following along with me, maybe you caught that and maybe you didn't, but there's an easy fix. So, hi Katie. All I'm doing is putting a little bit of liquid glue right in the center of this. And all you have to do is shimmy this right underneath here, and it will be just perfect. No one will ever know that we did it in the wrong order. Boom, look at that. So I just put enough glue just so it secures it in the center. I do have it so it's loose on the top here. I don't know what it is with vellum. I don't like to put a lot of extra glue, and because you see it through vellum. So this way you only need to make sure it's completely secured right in the middle here. So yeah, Bonnie and Rhonda were watching. She did a fabulous job, didn't she? Oh, Gina is such a creative gal. I am happy, I'm so inspired when I'm with her. So, all right, so a couple dimensionals or a few dimensionals on the back of this one. And I've learned Dar's trick of pressing them harder, and then it's easier to pull them off. So now what we can do is just place this on the center of our card. And again, remember my trick, don't quite press them down until you got it exactly where you want. Hi, Sarah Simon. How are you doing, girlfriend? So there we go. Last but not least though, girls, give me some shouts out. We got the bling coming. So I think what I tried to do for everybody that got a card kit from me is I tried to give you a big pearl and then 2 little pearls. And I can see that I lost my pearl on that card. So you should have 2 sizes. For me, on this one, I ran out of big ones. So all I'm gonna do is use small ones. And I'm gonna put 2 down there. And I'm just gonna randomly put another one up there. So if you girls have more pearls at home that you wanna add some more pearls, you definitely can. But again, this one's a relatively easy shape here, like the Peaceful Moments. If you have that, Happy Birthday would fit here. This would be a really pretty sympathy card. This would be a great thank you card. The other, thinking of you with all my heart fits in there. So okay, girls, if you don't have Peaceful Moments, you may want to think about it. This is a great set, very versatile. The other thing I want to remind you too is don't be afraid to mask stamps. So maybe you have something that's really long. What you could do is mask half of it, stamp the first on the left side, clean it, mask the left, and then stamp down below. So like you could take something like this and fit it on here by masking. So don't forget about that. If you're looking through your stamps, you can mask your stamps to get them to fit in smaller spots. So, all right, girls, there we go. We got card number 2 done for the May monthly. I'm trying to hold it so it's not crooked. It's really hard to figure out how to do that. So, all right, so that one featured our Magnolia Blooms. Give me some love if you liked that one. I'm so happy we got the second one done. And then on to the hardest card. And I don't mean hard as in terms of like it's too difficult, but there's a little bit more involvement with this card. So let's grab it. And this is my my attempt at getting you girls a card for Father's Day. So I know that Mother's Day just passed, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I am so excited, girls. I gotta tell you something. I'm gonna flip this around. I had somebody wish me a happy Mother's Day yesterday, and it made me feel so good because she called me her Stampin' Mom. So she said, happy Mother's Day to our Stampin' Mom, and then she gave me a little love, and I was like, yeah, I love it. So I no longer have a cat, so I'm not a fur baby mama anymore, but I am your Stampin' Mom, girls. That's how I feel. So anyways, that made me feel loved. All right, hi, Julie. So this card is so pretty. I love it. It features a stamp set that is retiring and dies that are retiring. It's called Best Catch. So let's pull this out. Oh, look at that. I had it right to that page. It's on page 150 in your annual catalog. It's called Best Catch. And what I've used out of here is the fish and the basket, and then the die for the fish. So the stamp set is still available, girls. If you want, you can still get that. I believe that the dies may have retired. And you could just fussy cut out stuff though. But the stamp set is definitely available yet. The other thing that was used in here, oh, the cattails. So let's see here. Do you know at the bottom of the stamp set, it says what page the dies are on? So they're on page 191. And that's called Catch of the Day. And there are some fabulous cattails in here. So girls, for all of you that got kits, I die cut out each of you a set of your cattails, and I cut out a set, or one of your nets here. So the netting, if you're wondering, it is from a set called Under the Sea. And again, the dies of Catch of the Day are here. So I've already die cut out your fish, and I've die cut out your netting here and your cattails. Now, it's hard to see this in the card, but girls, this High Seas is amazing. I just sold 2 of them last week, and I believe they're on the not on the clearance rack, but they're on the last chance for like $8. So it makes those waves, and I know that the lighting is super difficult for it to see, but this is something that you want to pick up if you don't have it yet. It makes waves in the back of, like, for water. So for the monthly class for April, we did that by the dock card, and we had waves by the dock. And then for the sailing home card that we made last week with the seaweed, it used this High Seas. So very, very good embossing folder. If you don't have it, you might want to think about getting that one. And what else did we use? Oh, the classic label punch here. So that's this bad boy. This is carrying over. It is a tried and true punch for little sentiments like that we have here, Itty Bitty Greetings. So for the girls that got the kit here, if you have Itty Bitty Greetings, or there was the one previous to this was called Teeny Tiny Wishes, oodles of little sentiments that fit perfectly in the little punched out piece. And you're wondering why I gave you 2 of those in your kit. I gave you 2 in case you needed 4 tries at getting it right. At one piece, you get 2 tries because you could flip it over. But I figured this is a little thing to fit it in. So I punched out 2 white banner sentiment pieces here for everybody. If you don't need the other one, throw it away if you don't want it, or use it on a different card. But that's why you have 2 of them, in case you were wondering. And then everybody's got some of the linen thread, and that goes right here. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a piece of, hi Carol, it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it is the color Crumb Cake. If you girls have been watching me now for the last 2 months, I think you've probably guessed that I use Crumb Cake a lot and Espresso a lot. They are 2 of my core colors. I use them a lot. And in this card, we got to use both of those colors. So excited for that. So In the netting, girls, the netting die looks like this. And I was a mad woman on the Big Shot Friday night for 2 hours while I was having a fire with Tyler. He sat back and he watched the fire and looked on his phone and ate popcorn with his feet up while I was a mad woman die cutting for you. And I will tell you that I did not poke out all your little pieces. I did run the die brush over this as best I could. But what you're going to want to do for those that have the kits is you are going to want to take a little bit and poke out all the little pieces that you have. So this one wasn't so bad. But if they don't all come out either, that's all right. Because the only part that really gets seen is the bottom part here, this edge. So if you have them still filled in on this top part, don't worry about it. Okay, so that is going to go there. Then we have this piece of Whisper White for our inside is 4 by 5 1/4. And what I've done for that one is I'm going to pull it out. If you don't have this basket, that's quite all right. If you have something else that is related to fishing or nature-y related, you definitely could stamp anything else in there. But the color that I used to correlate with or correspond to this card is the Early Espresso as well. So what I'm going to do is stamp a little basket right in the corner, just like that. And then, oh, let's keep that open because you know what I'm going to do? This the Special Celebrations has a really pretty sentiment in here called Hope Your Day Brings Just What It Should. Happiness, health, and everything good. You can see that it is the dirtiest stamp in here. Well, also the happy birthday is, but I think that's the stamp I use the most out of this set. This set I bought before the cling came out. And so one of the things I do, if you have a stamp set where it's not cling, like the new one, and what happens is this goes on here and you ink it up. If you wiggle, it just wants to fall off. This is what I do. I take a little bit of my snail and I will put some of that right on this stamp, and that helps it to stay sticky. I don't like to put a lot of that on here because what it does is it gets the goo from the tape on your block, but I'd rather have a little glue on my block than to have it fall off as I'm holding it over the top of it. So the other thing too is it's a sentiment, so I like to try to get those as straight as possible. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna practice, and I'm like, ooh, it's a little bit crooked. So knowing that, when I stamp this on here, I'm gonna make up for it a little bit by stamping it a little bit like more clockwise, and then that made it straight for me. So it's always a good idea to practice stamping before you go ahead and put it on your white or your whatever paper you want to stamp on. So, all right. Now, I think Brandon's probably watching. So if Brandon's watching, I have to make him proud, and I will clean my stamps, girls. This is a thing that Brandon likes us to do. Brandon is Angela's son, and I was cleaning my stamps last week, and he was really happy to see that. So if you don't have a chamois like this, you also want to put that on your wish list because they clean up stamps really good. So what I'm going to do is flip this over, use a little bit of my liquid glue, and that is going to get adhered onto the inside of the card like so. All right. Now what we can do is our net. And the net fits right in the bottom corner like this. So what you could do if you wanted, you could use your bone folder and curl the edges just slightly. You don't have to do the whole thing, but what I'm doing is just a little bit on the end. So that's like when you have wrapping paper ribbon and you go like that with it. That's what I like to do to roll paper. And to get this adhered onto here, and I'm going to just put a little bit of the tear and tape like this. Yeah, the chamois is awesome. This one goes right in the corner like this. And I don't want to have it overlapping too much, but I do want it going to the edge as much as possible. So where I put the tear and tape is where this is going to stick. And I do have a couple pieces here on the end that are just a little bit long. And I'm going to take my scissors and just snip them a little bit. If you didn't go overlapping slightly, then it would have been not hitting the edge of the paper enough. Okay, so just like that. You see I just snipped off a few of those so that it will still fit in your envelope really nice. All right, then we have our piece of early espresso. And let's see if it's in here. It sure is. I did so good tonight. So early espresso measures 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And then our pool party layer right here, this measures 4 9/16 by 3 15/16. Okay, so when you look at your pool party piece, girls, your waves go a certain way. And I like the way that, in this case, they look like they're going like this. So definitely take a second and look at which way your waves are going so that you don't stamp them a certain way. Like I didn't like the way that this looks bubbly to me one way. And also I've got a little thing in my paper that has a little look to it. So I'm gonna definitely glue this side down. Hi, Sandy. How are you doing, Sandy? You got your in color order. I'm so excited. Now you get to play with all your pretty colors. Yay. All right, that I just put a little bit of liquid glue on the back of that. Okay, so now we have here our cattails. All right, so what you're gonna have to do potentially is poke out the little piece here. I did not poke them out for you. I was, like I said, I was like a mad lady cutting away on the embossing machine. So there is a little bit to do here. You can see on this card, I've colored the cattails. So you've got a couple options for coloring cattails for your cattails at home. There is a color called Soft Suede, and there's a dark and a light one for the blends. You could use that. You could also use any water-based marker in espresso or a dark brown. And all you're gonna do is color your cattail, just the tops of those. Again, if you don't have the specific dark suede or light dark or the light suede blend, you can definitely use any brown marker. It's okay. So here's what we got. So we got our 2 cattails. And what I'm going to do is glue this one down here. Now, the other trick that I like to do is I'm going to curl these guys as well. I like to give dimension to plants and flowers. And so we're going to curl these. So grab your bone folder and just kind of burnish the edges of this. Not like, I don't know, burnish or curl, I should say, more or less. So what I've done is, I don't know if you can really see that, but I've bent them. And then what I'm going to do is grab some mini dimensionals, and I'm going to put them on just the top of my cattails. And I'm going to put here, and you can see here I've already cut the edges of these, so they're prepped and ready for me. And then I'm going to peel the backs off, and we're going to just put liquid glue at the bottom. So Laura, you said you cattails, you use the skinny oval punch. Oh, that works too. Yep. So here you go. Put a little bit of liquid glue on the bottom. So don't be afraid to use 2 different types of adhesive on one thing. That is more than okay. And so what this is going to do is I'm going to put this little individual one all the way to the edge of the blue and try to line that up so it's flush with the brown on the bottom. Hi, Wendy. And then the next one is going to go pretty much right over the top of it. And let's see here. Oh, that's stuck on my finger. Just trying to get that guy to go down a little bit. And then this one's going to go right over the top. Okay? So there we go. You can see here, like, I love having things pop out at you. Not to scare you, but to make them look pretty, right? And then what we have here is we need to put a little bit of tape down to help our circle, okay? So this is where I will use snail. I don't use snail a lot, but I will use it in a case like this. And I like to put a little bit down so it helps give my linen thread something to hold on to. So all I've done is put a little bit, I've prepped this area with a little bit of tape. And linen thread comes in a really big roll, girls. You will be amazed. I got 34 card kits out of this roll, so I would have had enough to do 36. Everybody got about 14 inches. So What you're gonna do is take the, you girls know me that you attend my classes. I'm not the best gal to do like this kind of stuff. It's like a big hairy mess for me usually. So I hope you watched what I did there, because to try to explain what I just did is kind of hard. But it actually turned out really, really good. I'm so proud of myself. So all I did was wind it up, and I did clip off a little bit of that. All I've done is I wound it up. Did you see I did it around my 2 fingers? And then I tried to get it so that my ends kind of were going to be tucked underneath the sentiment, and boom, just like that, we've got like a little lasso looking thing. Okay, so set this off to the side, and we're going to work on our sentiment. Did you realize, girls, that I'm saving the coloring of the fish for last? Kudos to you if you figured that out, because that's usually how I roll. I save the hardest for last. Okay, we're going to do itty bitty greetings, and I think that I'm gonna make this a Father's Day card, because my dad, he deserves a nice card. And he is, in my eyes, the best father in the world. So I know that I'm partially biased, and I know that he has helped me a lot with this project, like more than you will ever know. Between him and Tyler, they were like a lot of the brains behind this. So I'm gonna save this card, and I'm gonna give him this for Father's Day. So I don't know if he has an appreciation or a love for fish or not, but I'm sure he will enjoy the card nonetheless, right? Hi, Brenda. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to stamp my world's best father right in the center. So girls, when you cut your paper down, you usually end up with a 1/2 inch scrap on the end. Instead of throwing them away, save them for times like this so that you can, Brandon will clean that later, so that you can use it for itty bitty greetings like this. So this is where the classic label punch comes in. Now, I didn't cut this off of one of the ones I made, because this gives me something to hold on to when I want to punch this out. So get that straight. Now, I do want to show you girls a trick here. I think this is worth taking a second to show you something. So I don't know how many of you know that you can alter the size of something that you punch. And I should have picked Happy Birthday so I can show you this, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. So when you have here, let's get the Happy Birthday one out. And let's see, that guy goes there. This one goes here. So let's just grab Many Thanks. I'm just going to show you something. So what you're going to do is all of you girls have this little scrap like this. Now this will work if you have this punch at home, the classic label punch. So grab this back, and I'm not going to pretend, or I'm going to hope this goes straight. I don't know if it will or it won't, but what I'm doing is I'm stamping the Many Thanks on here. But you can see what I've done is Many Thanks is kind of short compared to how long this is. And so what I've done is I've moved it a little more to the left, and I've left it a little more open on this side. And I've done that because what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take my classic label punch, and I'm going to make this shorter. And a trick for doing this, the easiest way I found, is you go down from the bottom, just like this, and then you kind of weave it over to the side. And once you get it to where you want it, then you can easily trim it off so that you have a shorter sentiment on this, or like a shorter classic label sentiment. So what I've in essence done is just cut this off, and you could, so there's a really little stamp in there, hello. So what you have to do, the easiest way is from the bottom, and then you weave it over to the right. I've seen people try to go like that, and that doesn't always work. Sometimes you get jammed and you can't go. So the easiest way is to weave it. So I hope that that's a little trick that some of you may not have known that you can take that one with you into your knowledge base. So, but I didn't need to do it with this one. But now you're wondering what you're gonna do here, because this is the same size. What I'm going to do is take my paper snips, and I'm gonna cut this in half, and then I can spread it out on both sides so that I have a little bit of brown peeking through. So grab your liquid glue. You don't need a lot. If you put too much there, it's gonna ooze out the side. So what you're gonna do is just kind of pop that behind here. And now you can split labels like this both ways. If you wanted to, you could have cut it the long way if you like, and then you could have brown showing on the top and the bottom. So, but I liked it showing this way. So liquid glue needs a little bit of time to dry. So I'm just gonna set this off to the side so that I don't keep wiggling it. And we're gonna go back to we're gonna go to the fish now, girls. So we're just gonna set that there for now because that's gonna go there. But we have a fish here, girls. I think that somebody told me it was a carp. And if that's the case, great. And if it's not, somebody can tell me if it's not a carp. But here's what we got. We've got a bunch of different greens going on. So there is what is this? Dark soft sea foam. That's one of the colors. We used here, I'm saying we because Gina helped me make this one. It's light Calypso Coral. And then there's also light Old Olive. And there's a little bit of light Mossy Meadow. So girls, I know that you have markers at home. If you don't have these exact colors, you are welcome to color your fish any way you want. Just make it look like a pretty fish. You can make it like a rainbow trout and use every color under the rainbow. I'm just kidding. I don't know what rainbow trouts really look like. But so what I'm going to do here is start with one of the darker colors. So Mossy Meadow. And I work with my blends darkest to light. Look at this, girls. Your little fish here has a flipper. Its little wing flips out. Isn't that awesome? I love it. So I'm going to color the Mossy Meadow first, and I go to the areas to me that on the stamp are shaded dark first. And so you can see I'm just going to, and don't color over his eye. You don't want to give him a case of the green eye. That's not so good. And so you can see what I'm doing is going to the areas that are shaded a little bit darker with ink from the stamp. And then we're also going to do his little belly area here and go down this back side here. Now, if you don't have the fish stamp, you could also just color it and draw in some lines too. But everybody's got their die cut fish. And let's see here, do a little bit more here. So that's what I've done for the dark Mossy Meadow. And now, oh, excuse me, it's a light Mossy Meadow. Now we're gonna do a little bit of the light Old Olive. And I'm using the fine tip of here, of the marker. So when I do the next color, I'm going a little bit over the edge of the previous green color that I did. And that helps with a little bit of the blending. And then here too, make sure you incorporate in some of the first color. And then we're gonna come over here. I'm not promising that this is gonna look anything like the sample. Everything is always different when you color with blends. This is a lot of pressure, girls, coloring all this in front of you. I wish I would have done like the magic of TV and had this done, but you know, I told you we were gonna do a little blend coloring today, so, well, I don't know if it was gonna be today, but I figured we'd do a little bit sometime in our future. All right, then what we're gonna do is pull in the coral. Hi, Kelly. And I don't know, the fish has a little bit of coral action going on here. And I'm gonna put a little there and a little over here. Now, to me, when I put coral on it, it makes me feel like it should be a salmon fish, but I don't know. I think Tyler's the one that told me that it's a carp. But last but not least, I save lightest for last. And so I'm actually gonna use the thick tip of the marker for this one. This is pulling in the soft sea foam. And I'm gonna basically color the entire fish this color, except for I'm gonna try to avoid his eye because I don't wanna give him the green eye. And make sure you go over the dark areas with the seafoam color. And I'm not gonna go over the coral so much. I'm gonna try to avoid the coral area as well. And now with the markers too, again, you can see I'm going a little bit slower so that, and little brush strokes so that it gives time for the marker to blend in. How's it looking? This is a lot of pressure, girls, I'll tell you. Coloring in front of a room full of people is like a little bit stressful, but not as stressful as I had for my day with all my meetings that I had. So, all right, so far so good. I'm almost done. Don't worry, we're almost done with this. I won't make you suffer much longer with me here. All right, so who would have ever thought that these colors, the seafoam, the mossy meadow, and the olive, would come together and make this really pretty fish? So, all right, almost there, girls. Okay, this is where if you had a color lifter too, I didn't bring one down, but if you had a color lifter, you could definitely lighten certain areas of the fish with that. Oh my gosh. Okay, how did it turn out? It's okay, right? I don't think that's bad at all. So yay to having the fish done. I got this, right? Yay, go me. All right, so we're gonna give that a second to dry, set that off to the side. And so now we're ready, we can put this down. And I'm actually gonna pop that up with some dimensionals. And I think that I'm gonna use some of these over here and cut them skinny for the back of this. So we're gonna put one right there and one right there. Yes, thumbs up, girls, yay. I'll tell you, I'm usually good in front of you girls, but having to color a fish like that was a little bit like, whoa. A little stressful. All right, so we're gonna put on here worlds. So I'm gonna make sure I cover up my glue on here, and that's gonna go right down here. Then on the back of this, I also have this popped up with dimensionals. So grab some, either your big ones or your small ones. I'm actually gonna go with 6 of the big ones and put them strategically placed on the back side here. Don't try to pick off a dimensional back with a dimensional back in front of your nail. Doesn't work so well. All right, so flip this over, and that's gonna just get centered on the front of your card, like so. All right, girls, last but not least, let's put this fish on. I have a trick for you on this as well. On the card here, this tail is flat, and then he is popped up like that. So how we're gonna do that is we are going to put a double stack on his head, and we're going to put a single stack right below his flipper, and then we are going to put some liquid glue on his tail. You want to be careful not to catch his little flipper with glue, because you definitely don't want to lose the appeal of those two things. You can see them this way. Oh yeah, there it is. You can see that those two things pop out. So you can see here I've got flat, 1 high, and 2 high. And this fish is just jumping out of the cattails. Diane, you're a fisher lady, I think, right? You go fishing with your husband. What kind of fish would you call this based on the coloring that we used? So, all right, girls, I think that might call it for this card. What do you think? Turned out pretty good, didn't it? Such soft, soothing colors. I love the pool party mixed with the espresso and the crumb cake, and then coloring in this fish, those different shades of green really bring out the pear pizzazz of the cattails. And just a little bit of thread here. You girls probably can't see it, but actually I ran out of linen thread when this card was made. So the linen thread, oh, you know what it is? Actually, I know what it is. Gina did this. Okay, girls, here you go. Linen thread is actually wound up, and I didn't remember this when I did your kits, but linen thread is actually wound up into strands like this. And there's actually 3 strands that go into that one. And we pulled them apart, and we just used one of those 3 strands, and that's what made it look like that, which in the camera you can't even see the difference. And in this case, it's all 3 of them wound up. And so pretty much looks the same, except for you could see this one looks maybe a little lighter or softer if you look at it. Like it doesn't look as, like it looks more frilled apart. So, okay, well there's that. For those that are watching live, if you haven't put your thread on, you could definitely pull it apart like that. but then you're gonna be left with a couple extra strands that you can use for something else, whatever you want. So, but there you go, that's the difference. And I know that you probably couldn't tell that in the camera, but that is the difference between why those look a little bit different. So, boom. All right, girls. Whew. So Elaine says all the cards are always nice. So thank you so much. I do want to tell you girls that I made one extra set of these card kits. So if there's anybody out there watching and wanting them, that I do have a set of the cards here. How I do the class is the 3 cards are $12 for the 3 kits, or they are free with a $20 order. So basically when you place an order, these are free because you're getting product. So, so that's one thing that I do for card kits if you're interested in placing an order to get the card kits. And then the other thing I thought I'd bring out to you girls is I am in the process of prepping for this class right now, the Poppy class. I have the whole room over here is just filled with card bases and stuff. It's a hot mess in this place. So I'm in the process of prepping for the Poppy class, which the class consists of these 4 cards. And this one's a fun fold that goes like that. And I don't ever glue my insides in, so that's why it's wiggly. And then this last one. So I have one set of these cards left. I had 15 sign up for class, and I had made 16 kits. So this class was priced at $15 or free with a $25 order. So if there's somebody out there that's looking to get these to make with me on Thursday night, this class is May 14th at 6 p.m. and we'll make these 4 cards live. So girls, I know we had a class tonight, but we also have another class on Thursday night with the Poppies. So I'm going to keep you busy this week. Tomorrow night, I know that it will be a little bit later. I think it'll be after 7 o'clock when I go live tomorrow. And what we'll probably do tomorrow night is put a card together tomorrow night. And then I think that Wednesday night is a swap card showcase. It's going to be the last one. The boards, I have these cards up here to go through with you, and then I have a stack about like that many cards. So if you like to go through the cards with me to get inspiration and ideas, that's what Wednesday night is going to be. And then on Friday night, I'm not sure yet, but Friday night's the 15th. My goodness, does that mean that we're halfway through May then? So, all right, so girls, give me 5 seconds. I think I have 2 cards over here that I want to announce some winners, if I can find them. And let's see here. Yes, this one and this one. Okay, so that didn't take very long, but I think that's Sarah. Sarah, you're watching. Sarah, I'm not sure if your last name is pronounced New, but it's N-E-U. So Sarah, I have this card that we made a couple weeks ago, and when I selected a winner for people who like, comment, and shared on that video, you were the winner that was selected. And I don't have your address. So if you wouldn't mind sending me your address, then I can mail this wonderful card to you. So that's Sarah. And then I'll flip my camera down so you guys can see this. So we made this card on last Monday night. This was with the In Color class, and it was the Abstract Impressions stamp set. And drum roll, please. Okay, winner, chicken dinner, Katie Schmidt. Yay, I think Katie's watching. I'm not sure if you still are, Katie, but if you are the lucky winner of this card. And I will put this in the mail. I am pretty positive I have your address because you went with me to Lansing for Onstage. And so, Katie, you were that winner. And then we made this card, I think, oh, what night was this? I feel like it was like Friday night, maybe? It was most recent. So, all right, drum roll. Okay, flip it over. Arliss, yay! Arliss, you are the winner for this card. And Arliss, I think that you attended the Occasions Jamboree in January with me. So I'm pretty positive I have your address too. If for some reason I don't have Katie's or Arliss's address, I will be asking you for it. So I do have a few more things I think I need to give away for prizes from last week, but those are from Monday night and I believe Friday night. So I think what we'll do for tonight is I'll give away a couple of the cards we made tonight to some winners, and I'll try to remember to announce them tomorrow, girls. You got to keep me honest here, right? So, all right. Oh, wait. wait. I'm gonna flip the camera down. I have to show you girls the In Color class. I know that some of you saw this on Saturday, and for some of you, you weren't watching on Saturday, but I have the In Color class and catalog launch party card set. Jean and I were safer stamping together on Saturday, and these are the cards that we're gonna do for the launch party and the In Color class using new products, new In Colors, new dies, not new punches because the daisy punch is around, but new paper, new colors. Oh my gosh. So that one is Magenta Madness. We've got Bumblebee. We've got Misty, Moonlight, Just Jade, and Cinnamon Cider. And so girls, I'm going to be getting these photographed, and then I'll be sending, I'll send all the details for the catalog launch party. So I have 4 of them on the schedule. One's going to be online, and 3 of them are going to be in person. So I highly recommend that you RSVP as soon as you know which date you want to attend. So in case I need to throw another one on the books, I can. I have not heard if we can have groups of more than 10 or if I'm still going to be limited to groups of 10 or less. If it's 10 or less, then I can only have 8 at each class to accommodate the social distancing. So I'm hoping that we can have more than 10 people, but I would just highly recommend as soon as you see the dates published and posted for that you should just let me know. So yes, I love it. Thank you for congratulating the winners, girls. It's so fun to win some things, right? So, all right, girls, I don't know if I have anything else for you for tonight, but I really enjoyed making these cards. I'm so excited. I kept it to an hour and 15 minutes. And I did good. I didn't make it last 2 hours. Yay! So, all right, girls, there's a little bit of daylight left. So if you're up for it, you should get out and go for a walk and go around the block. I think that's what I should do. Get a little exercise, get off my butt. So, it was really good stamping with you tonight. I hope that you learned some new tips and tricks and that you got some inspiration from it. And for those that did the class with me, again, I truly appreciate your support in this month of May with getting the card kits for me. It makes me feel good, and I love sharing the love when I feel the love back. So it makes me feel good. So, all right, girls, I will definitely see you tomorrow, and as soon as I know what time it is, I'll try to give you a heads up at least an hour in advance so that you know what time to watch for. So, all right, girls, I love ya. I hope that you have a good rest of your night, and sunshine and happiness to you. Bye.